Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Listen, I'm going to try not to be too long with this. I was just going to put it on my community page, but I understand a lot of people either can't get access to the community page or they don't really look at the community page all that much. But most of the time, people will get notifications of videos, but they may not, know about or even look at the community page. So I decided to do a short video on this. A few days ago, yesterday, and even prior to that, to give people a heads up, a warning, whatever you want to call it, I had put out that I had believed that somehow the U.S. was involved in splitting Israel with this deal that has been made regarding, you know, um, denouncing the capital in Jerusalem and moving the embassy and so forth. And I had and the reports at first were that Israel had done this to themselves, and maybe the U.S. would dodge a bullet on this, and but evidently now that is not the case. More articles and information is coming out where we did have a hand in this. Our idiotic leadership did have a huge hand in this. Matter of fact, we got some moron going to, I guess the Gaza Strip or something on Saturday. I don't know. I mean, I don't really care who these people are. The bottom line is, unfortunately for us, because of their position and their title, they are a representation of this nation, unfortunately. So you could just put a dog in a clown suit, and give them a title pretty much, and they're a representative of America. It's ridiculous, it's stupid, but it is what it is. I mean, if they have a title behind their name or they've been given some type of authority to speak on our behalf, then we could pay because of their stupidity and their words. And if people don't believe that, look up the Isaiah 9:12 judgment, and so forth. I mean, words have power, words have meaning, and when idiotic leaders say stupid things and make dumb decisions, we all pay for it. Nothing happens in a vacuum, just like sin. When you sin, somebody else pays for it a lot of times. Or when we sin, I should say, not you, in a general sense. But anyway, getting back to Israel, it appears that we did have a hand in this decision, and I think we're going to pay. And I put out, the 24 to 96 hour thing, because historically, that's how long it's taken. Now, like I said, our God is sovereign. He's holy. He's righteous. He can do whatever he wants, when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it. He can choose to respond, retaliate, or he can choose not to. However, historically, many, 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 many times, basically since the Carter administration, he has responded within that 24 to 96 hour time frame. Okay, the question is, when was the deal done? When did they sign the papers? When did they shake hands? When did they do it? I don't know. Okay? I don't. I think it was the 11th or 12th, but I don't know. So today's the 14th. We're in the window if the Lord chooses to respond and retaliate. How will he do so? I don't know. You know, historically, it's always been, it's not always, but it's usually been through weather. Usually it's been through storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, uh, derecho storm, whatever, usually. However, the market tanking yesterday was pretty interesting. Now, granted, it's up again today so far, but that could change throughout the day. It's all manipulated garbage anyway, but what they can't manipulate too much, or they can manipulate it, but what they can't hide as much is the fact that people are getting hurt at the gas pumps. There's diesel shortages or shortages in everything, not just food and supplies. I've heard of, feminine hygiene product shortage, medical supplies. People can't get, their blood drawn because for tests or whatever, they ran out of butterfly needles, or, there's, they ran out of test tubes, for the blood to enter into the tube so it can be tested. I mean, just medical supplies gone. A lot of things in major shortage: concrete, cement, lumber. Major shortages out there. More food processing plants being burnt down. I mean, people can do their own homework and research on this. It's all out there if people want to research it. So, but they can't hide all of that. I mean, they can make shelves look more stocked than what they are, and change expiration dates on things, and put garbage food out and so forth, and say that's all we have available. They can do that. But it's real hard to hide what's going on at the gas pump. It's real hard to hide when you're pumping gas and it says you have a 20-gallon limit on this pump, or they'll cut you off at like $75 or whatever it takes to fill it. So it's hard for them to hide that stuff. So I'm wondering if the market tanking will be the judgment. I wonder if it's going to be an economic judgment this time. I got an intel report yesterday that someone believed that, very, very strongly believed that the market would tank by July 4th. Well, technically summer begins June 21st. So if the market doesn't tank before June 21st, then that's it for a spring market crash. That would be very historical if it happened after June 21st, because that would probably be the very first time ever we would have a summer crash, technically. But anyway, just some interesting tidbits there. I mean, I thought that was kind of interesting that they had a lot of evidence to support their claim that it would tank before July 4th. I was like, okay, that's interesting, especially with what we've just done to Israel, and especially with just the sin of this nation, the bill passing in California, not signing the law yet as far as I know, but 7 days after birth, you can still kill the baby. That's murder. There's no other way around it. I don't know how else you can explain that. That's murder, straight up murder. And so, California does that. Other states follow suit. Now, what I don't think is going to happen personally, even though it is prophetic, it is prophesied, is the splitting of the nation, at the New Madrid Fault. I don't think it's enough for that personally. I could be wrong. I have no idea, but I don't think that is going to happen right away. It could. So people, Tennessee, Missouri area, what have you, anywhere along the New Madrid Fault line might want to be paying attention to that. It might be an economic judgment this time. Could be storms as well. Could be a bunch of things. I have no idea. It's all speculation. But the bottom line is, we're in that time frame right now where the Lord, if He chooses to retaliate, we're going to pay big time for this decision, it appears. So, be on your guard. Be ready for that. Be careful when you're traveling, if you're traveling, where you're traveling to, because things can kick off just about any time. I'm very curious to see how our God is going to respond to this and in what way. It could be, just like I said, an economic judgment. And I don't mean that it could be like that's no big deal, because it's all huge. It's all big. But I'd rather deal with an economic judgment than I would, unbelievably horrible storms, hurricanes, floods, tornadoes that just destroy people's lives from the top to the bottom, or the bottom to the top. So we'll see what happens. Be prepared, be ready as much as you can be. I'm going to post to my community page people can watch as much as they want, chew up the meat, spit out the bones, but I'm going to post the Prophecy Club broadcast from yesterday, I guess it was, maybe early this morning, called Moloch Splits Israel and Destroys Food. I suggest people watch like the first 5 minutes of that, and it gives you a lot of the details of what I'm talking about. But there's more. There's other articles. There's other information if people choose to look into it. The evidence is clear that we are involved in this. And all people have to do is look up, just research, do not touch the apple of my eye, or do not touch the apple of God's eye. You'll understand how serious this is, historically and prophetically. So we'll go from, I guess we'll just see what happens from there. All right, you guys have a great and blessed day. Take care. Bye-bye.